You know, I never noticed before, but a lot of Pixar's early work, the central conflict is focused more on a real-world adult issues. I mean, Toy Story is about Woody trying to stay relevant against something new, Monsters Inc. is about two guys trying to be the best at their job, Finding Nemo is about a dad trying to find his child, and The Incredibles is about a man going through his midlife crisis, trying to relive his youth, and nearly getting his family killed. Years after public opinion has turned against superheroes, the Parr family live in secret. The family consists of Bob, voiced by Craig T. Nelson, Helen, played by Holly Hunter, and their children, Violet, Dash, and Jack Jack. One day, Bob gets an invitation to become a hero again, but there may be something more sinister about the people who contacted him. The Incredibles is one of the best animated films I have ever seen. I mean, just from an animation standpoint, this movie still looks great. This was the first Pixar film that actually starred human characters. Every other one of their movies starred stuff like toys, bugs, and monsters. And with good reason, they weren't very good at animating people yet. Go back and watch those, the human characters look plastic. The Incredibles created dozens of human characters, and they all still look great, even 14 years later. The voice acting's good too. Craig T. Nelson does a surprisingly good job as Bob. I can just feel how annoyed he is at not being a hero anymore. Also, Bird himself plays Edna Mode, and he's so good that for several years after this, I didn't know it was a guy playing her. It's got a lot of action, which are all really suspenseful. There are parts where when I first saw this, I thought they were going to die. It's funny, dramatic, does a good job parodying superheroes while also being a good superhero story in its own right. The villain is funny while also being intimidating, and the score is fantastic. This was one of the first films composed by Michael Giacchino, who has pretty much done every great score of the past 5 years. So the technicals are great, and it manages to have plenty of enjoyable stuff to make the movie fun and exciting. But I think what really pushes it to being one of the best animated films is the family themselves. I genuinely just like these people. Yeah, they do kind of fall into stereotypes, the brutish dad, the naggy mom, the shy daughter, and hyper son. But they do work together. They fight, they don't always get along, but it's clear they love each other. Bob and Helen actually do work as a couple, and I like the little moments Violet and Dash get together. And I like that their powers kind of fit their personalities and the sort of stereotypes of the family unit. The dad is big and tough and does anything to protect them, so he has super strength. The mom is kind and hardworking, having to stretch herself to get everything done, so she has elastic powers. The daughter is shy and introverted, so she can turn invisible, and the son is hyper and active, so he has super speed. It actually does have a lot of heart to it that binds the whole thing together. Also, this is a PG rated animated film that actually earns the PG rating. I think there's only been about 5 or 6 PG rated animated films over the past 25 years that have actually earned it. People die in this. Some of them very, very horribly, and that's one of the reasons I love it. Show kids that death is a thing, and sometimes it can be very, very painful. So yeah, I've praised the holy hell out of this movie. Is there anything I don't like? Well, there is one thing that even confused me as a kid. In what world would people stop liking superheroes? Enough to where they would have to go into hiding. I mean, they say it's because of collateral damage, but how do you expect to protect yourselves? The cops? Those guys are fucking useless. Also, it does kind of go on a little too long. Oh, and there's this part where Bob just finds the password to a computer in a cave. Yeah, that's bullshit. But yeah, this is still one of my favorite Pixar movies. I mean, Toy Story's still my favorite just for nostalgia alone. And I'm kind of torn between this and Inside Out for number 2, but that means it's at least in my top 3. And I give this one a 9.5 out of 10. I know, why not just give it a 10, but it's my review, and that whole shunning superheroes thing still bothers me. So next time we'll look at Bird's second Pixar effort. Is it as good as his first? No, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Like, I am sweating in ways that I don't sweat when I'm working out. I could be doing fucking exercise on the elliptical for an hour and not sweat this much.